Hello, I'm Jay Bowman, Managing Director of Research and Analytics at FMI, and thank you for your interest in this, our second quarter forecast for the U.S. for 2019. As we come to the close of the second quarter of 2019, our projections for the end of the year puts total construction spending at roughly 1% above what it was in 2018. That still marks an increase to $1.3 trillion, which is a good $150 billion more than the prior peak that we saw in 2006. Again, at such a high level, shortages from a skilled labor perspective and other conditions are really sort of crimping the ability of many contractors to take on more work. Even though we said that total construction may only be up 1% in 2019, this is largely driven by some of the downward pressure we're really seeing in the residential sector. As you can tell from the chart here, we're actually projecting a 5% decrease in single-family home construction for 2019. Now, over time, we do see this increasing to about a 3% or rate of inflation growth over the next 5 years. But obviously that, as a large part of total construction spending, is dragging down the total growth. By comparison, when we look at the non-residential building sector and the non-building sector, each of those for next year are actually growing fairly well at 4% and 5% respectively. And then continuing over time, maybe it's slightly less, around 2 to 4%, but many of that is just the following of the effects that we're seeing on the residential side. Let's take a little bit of a deeper dive now and see what's occurring at the segment level. One of the new things we think that you really should be considering is the composition and the change in that. I generally think of this as replacement and displacement. Replacement might be similar to what we're seeing in the data center world, where hyperscale, the large million square foot plus data centers, are replacing what we have typically seen in the co-location or the enterprise related data centers. Similarly, by displacement from the effects of e-commerce, what we're seeing there, obviously with the growth in distribution centers, with less interest in the traditional brick and mortar retail. Well, just as we've seen the change in composition in terms of the types of work that's occurring, we're also seeing this change in composition in terms of where the work is occurring. Currently, we project that roughly 50% of all construction spending in the United States will take place in just 20 metropolitan markets across the country. It's easy to tell where this spending is most likely to occur. I'd like to thank you again for your interest in this, our second quarter forecast for 2019. As such, I'd suggest you contact one of our investment bankers or consultants to talk about the success for your own company. You can download a full copy of our report also at our website at www.fminet.com.